Have you ever wondered what it's actually like to live somewhere before you even step foot in the neighborhood? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are diving deep into the community of Oak Ridges in Richmond Hill, Ontario, to get the real story. So let's jump right in.
So this whole explainer kicked off because of a real question on Reddit. Someone's thinking about moving to Oak Ridges, and they have some legit concerns, you know? Are the schools any good? Is there anywhere decent to shop? And what's the deal with the infrastructure? We're going to dig in and answer all of that, and more, using what real people are saying, plus some hard data.
Okay, first things first. To really get a handle on Oak Ridges, you absolutely have to start with its biggest, most defining feature, this incredible connection to nature that's just everywhere.
And wow, this picture just says it all, doesn't it? This is Lake Wilcox. It's this beautiful kettle lake that was carved out by the last ice age, like 12,000 years ago. It really is the heart of the community, sitting right on the famous and environmentally protected Oak Ridges Moraine.
And all that nature creates a totally unique feeling. One resident just nailed it when they said, "The beauty of Oak Ridges is that it has so much nature and it doesn't feel like the rest of Richmond Hill. This isn't your average cookie-cutter suburb. It just feels different." So this slide kind of gets at the central paradox of Oak Ridges, which is also its biggest selling point. On one side, you have this cottage country vibe that people talk about all the time. Lots of greenery, a quiet, small-town feel. But, and this is super important, you're not out in the middle of nowhere. You're actually right between two huge highways, the 404 and the 400, which makes it way more accessible than you'd think for commuters.
Okay, so we've got the vibe down. It's all about nature. But what about the people and the places? Who's actually living here now, and how did this area change so much from its quiet cottage country beginnings?
You know, this place has been through a massive transformation. It started out in the 1940s as this sleepy little summer cottage spot for people escaping the city. Then, in '71, it officially became part of Richmond Hill. But the real game changer was in the 2000s, when this huge development boom just took over, replacing old cottages with these big, modern, year-round family homes. And you can literally see that change in how residents talk about it. One person on Reddit remembered its old reputation from like 20-plus years ago as a community of lowlifes and deadbeats. But someone else jumped right in with the reality today. They keep building mansions around Lake Wilcox. I mean, that pretty much says it all, right? What a dramatic shift.
So who's living in all these new homes? Well, the data is crystal clear. Oak Ridges is, without a doubt, a family neighborhood. Nearly 60% of all households here are families with kids. It's become a really popular, diverse place for people looking to settle down and put down some roots.
And a huge draw for these families is the Oak Ridges Community Center. People on Reddit are calling it top-notch, and you can totally see why. We're talking about a 56,000 square foot building with a 6-lane pool, a massive gym, fitness studios, and even an eco-center that's all about the local environment. It's a true modern hub for a modern community.
Okay, so a great vibe and an amazing community center are awesome. But let's get back to those original worries. What's the day-to-day really like in Oak Ridges? Time for a little reality check.
First up, safety. Is it a safe place to raise a family? Well, the numbers are pretty hard to argue with. The estimated crime rate in Oak Ridges is almost 48% lower than the national average for Canada. Your chance of being a victim of crime there is about 1 in 46, which makes it a lot safer than many other cities in the province. And what about stuff to do, especially if you have kids? Well, aside from the lake itself, the numbers here are pretty impressive. You've got 19 parks in the area, and packed into them are 58 different recreational facilities. That's a dozen playgrounds, 10 different trails, and a bunch of tennis and basketball courts.
All right, so let's tackle those original concerns head-on. The Reddit poster was worried about lackluster shopping. The reality? Folks who live there say nearby Aurora has pretty much everything you need, and it's a quick drive with not a lot of traffic. Then schools. The poster was worried, but others chimed in saying there are some very good schools in the area, plus a brand new high school is opening. And finally, infrastructure. Okay, here's the bottom line. You absolutely 100% need a car. The data shows 90% of residents drive to work. This is not a walkable, transit-first kind of place. Okay, so we've looked at the vibe, the people, and the day-to-day realities. After all of that, what's the final verdict on Oak Ridges?
So here it is, the final breakdown. In the pros column, you've got a strong community feel, tons of nature and parks, super low crime rates, and that amazing community center. It's quiet, and it has a real small-town atmosphere. But on the cons side, you are completely dependent on your car. The shopping right in Oak Ridges is limited, and it for sure does not have a busy, big city feel. It's definitely a specific lifestyle choice.
And that kind of brings us right back to the main question here. It all boils down to a trade-off, doesn't it? Are you willing to give up that walk-everywhere, big city convenience in exchange for a quiet, family-friendly community that's literally surrounded by nature? Based on everything we've seen, only you can really decide if that's the right move for you.